What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Tristan Social. If you're new to the channel, I teach guys how to talk to girls. I have over 1 million subscribers, 1 million followers online across different platforms, and I'm pretty good at what I do. I like women. I like talking to them, and I like teaching you about them. This is a concept, dating equals an investment, that it didn't really hit on me until I got out of credit card debt. So if you guys don't know, I was about $50,000 into credit card debt, and part of that was because I was going on so many dates, and I wasn't making any money. Like, I was spending a whole bunch of stuff on business and trying to invest in my life, but also a large portion of that was me just going on dates that I could not afford. And when I started to make more money and I started to be able to spend more freely, I realized, like, oh shit, dating is actually a huge part of my budget. Something that I did not think of or have, or even, that's how you get into $50,000 of credit card debt, but a budget. Now, we're thinking about it. I want you guys to imagine this. You're sitting across from a table from a beautiful girl, but the conversation is not going super well, and it's a little bit of an expensive dinner. Imagine you paying about $100, $150. Call it $100 just for easy math. $100 for dinner. And the conversation that you're having with this girl just is not what it is that you had in mind, what you were hoping for, what you wanted from the entire experience. And I want you to imagine this right now. If you're sitting across from this girl, would you rather have her looking at you, talking to you, or would you rather have that $100 bill sitting on the seat? Which would you prefer? And you really have to think about it this way. If you're hanging out with a girl and you would rather have the money than have the time and the experience with a girl, that's a bad investment. But say you're spending $100 and it's the best date that you've ever been on. You would go on this date 5 times over. Would you rather have that $100 that's sitting on the seat, or would you rather have the girl there? Would you rather have $100 in your wallet, or would you rather have somebody that's warm and alive talking across from you? And if the answer is you would rather have the person in front of you, that's a good investment. When you can start thinking about dating as an investment, it helps like create the entire map a bit. I'm kind of the camp that just, with today's modern age, paying for the first date as a man is something like pretty easy. But when you have a budget set, you can go ahead and build a date accordingly. So that way you're not scrambling around trying to figure out like, oh shit, like I can't go to this place, this place, this place, and this place. And that's where it comes into monthly expenditure. Say you're a guy and you're making $5 grand a month and you want to go ahead and go on dates and be social. You want to set aside, 10% of your budget should be put away for savings, 5% should be donated, and then another 10% should be put towards this thing that you call dating. Because at the end of the day, man, your future wife is gonna be either the most costly decision that you ever make or the biggest ROI decision that you ever make, because something that money can't buy is children, like your own flesh and blood. Money just cannot buy that. So at the end of the day, man, if you find the right woman, you have the right connection with her and you create children with her, that's an infinite, there's no amount of dollar signs that you can put on that. That's an infinite ROI because you're able to spread your bloodline and continue on your genes, which is what we're all here for. At the end of the day, we all are here to have kids. That's what people do. That's why we're human beings. That's why I have the off-camera beautiful Indonesian girl in a green dress and some glasses that's gonna go to a dance club called, I'm not gonna say the name of the place, but she wants to go out and do her freaky thing and then come back home to daddy. So she wants to come back home and chill with daddy. That's what she wants to do. But I look at it as an investment. I am actually paying for her Pilates classes because she provides so much value off camera. She cooks, she cleans, she organizes. I could spend that money on a cleaner or a maid, but I get some benefits with it at the end of the day when I'm paying for the Pilates classes. I get to see the direct ROI from the Pilates classes. Some might call me a simp. I call it an investment. It's in the budget. I have the Pilates classes built into the budget. I make well over $5 grand a month so that I can afford to do things like this. I can afford to go on dates and I can afford to do everything. So when you get into the upper echelons of dating, the women that you're gonna go on dates with, they're gonna be expecting more out of the dates. And if you have a $500 budget, I'm not to say that you can't go on amazing dates. You just have to be more resourceful, and you have to know how many dates can you go on for $500, where can you go, what can you do, and you have to be more tactful. This is why having a budget is so cool, because if you have a $1,500 budget, think about it like this. You can do 3 $500 dates, you could do 5 $300 dates, or you go crazy and you could do 15 $100 dates. And that way it's not breaking the bank so much. But you can't go on 15 $100 dates if you have a $500 budget, or you have a $50 budget. It doesn't matter what your budget is, but you have to have some sort of mental cognition that I'm not gonna go into debt, or I'm not gonna walk into a date not knowing how much I'm gonna spend or how much I'm willing to spend on this. It's like walking into the casino with your debit card. Like you could lose everything. If you have $1,000 in your bank account, you could get it wiped out. If you have 10K in your bank account, if you have 100K in your bank account, if you don't have a set budget or set limit, you're gonna be struggling. And whenever things come up on the date, I'll tell you a story. I was chilling with a girl. We went to Zara. We had some fun times in the Zara changing stall, and then she comes out and she asked me, hey, can you buy me this dress? I was so stressed. I was so stressed because I didn't have a set budget, and then this time I was still in credit card debt. But I felt cornered because, Zara bathroom stall. So when you think about it, guys, I would have been so much more prepared financially and to make that financial decision to invest in this girl or to not invest in this girl had I known what the ROI of her perspective was and how much I could afford to invest. Say for that specific girl, say, it was just a hookup, it was just fun. I might have a budget of $200 for the entire day that I spent with her. But this person could be my wife. We could bump up that budget to $500 because I know I'm gonna get it back in the future. Versus with a hookup, it's probably just gonna be a dead loss. I'm just putting money in so that I can get some fun out. So you gotta be aware where you're placing these investments and how much you're putting into them. Your woman that you're hanging out with, there's so many ROIs. There's a social status ROI, there's an emotional status ROI, there's a physical ROI. You're not paying for prostitutes and sex workers. You're gonna pay either way. Just know how much that you're gonna pay. Because here's the thing, you go on a date that's $100, you go home and you don't hook up with her, okay, that's a $100 investment. You go on another date, that's another $100, it's a $200 investment. And maybe your only point of going out with her was to have sex with her, not to really get to know her. At that point, brother, you're $200 in and still got no poontang. You were better off to spend $200 on getting a prostitute if you were just honestly being true to yourself and thinking all that you wanted was the sex. All about investments. When you start looking at dating from an investment standpoint, you also stop taking bullshit from women. You stop thinking like, okay, I can't afford to take this beratement or like this subpar behavior from this woman because I don't even plan on her sticking around. It's not even the person that I can see myself with. So if I continue to pour into it, once again, it's a bad investment. So rule of thumb, you have to decide how much you're willing to put in from your percentage of your income into this thing called dating. How important is social life to you? How important is having a woman on your arm to you? It's really up to you to decide. No man can decide that. What I will tell you is you do want to save 10% of your income, just regardless. Just put that away for yourself. As somebody that did not used to do that and is now doing that, it's a good habit to have. Save 10%. Save $1 out of every 10 for you. And then I like to donate 5% of my income to worthy deeds, worthy causes, whatever it is. That's just me giving back to the universe. They talk about tithing in the Bible. You might want to consider that. And then anything from there, man, it's really whatever you want to do. This is just my recommendations, and everybody has different recommendations. It's your life. Do whatever it is that you want. But to avoid credit card debt, to avoid spending too much time with people and too much money on the wrong people, set a budget for yourself so that when you find somebody that could be your future wife, you can go on really cool, planned out dates that work really well because you had a set budget and you weren't spending on the wrong people. And like imagine you had a shitty investment, a shitty woman, and you spent $400 of your $500 monthly allowance, and you meet your wife or your potential wife, somebody that you really click with, and you only have $100 left. You don't want to be cognizant of these things, man. But at the end of the day, bro, if you have children with the wrong woman, that is going to cost you emotional stress, financial stress, logical stress, mental stress, all the different stresses. So here, and the thing is too, you're not only going to invest money, you're going to invest time, you're going to invest energy, you're going to invest thought process. There's only 24 hours in the day and you only have so much computing power in your brain. You have to really make a decision. How much am I willing to invest in this person? And we start looking at it instead of like, dollar amounts. How much percent of my day can I invest in this person? Can I invest 4%? Because every hour is 4%. 24 times 4 is 96. Add an extra percentage in there, it's about 25%. So about 1 hour is 4%. Say, you hang out with a girl, and this is where guys get in trouble with prostitutes. This is where guys get in trouble with sex workers. Think about it like this. 4% of if you're gonna spend an hour with a girl and you need to spend 3 hours to have sex with her, hook up with her, go on a date with her, that's 12% of your day. And think about this, say you're a really efficient guy. Say you make $100 an hour. You're essentially if you don't even spend $300, but essentially you're spending $300 in earning potential to go on a date with this girl. Say the prostitute was $200 and only cost you 1 hour. You're at a net positive of $100. but you don't have the emotional, you don't have the connection, you don't have the things that make a woman, you know, outside of sex, pleasurable to be around. This is where you just have to make a conscious decision. What is dating right for you? I'm not here to teach you left or right. I'm just here to tell you that having a structure when it comes to a budget is going to really help you out. So with that being said, guys, just take this for food of thought. Like, not really too much else. I wanted to make this a little bit shorter video, give you a little piece of my soul. It's something that's helped me out. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. If you made it to this point of the video, please subscribe. See you soon. Peace.